What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I'm sure everyone is aware that Treyarch are actually facing some backlash from the community at the moment around the recent update and patch changes that came to the game on January 3rd. However, they actually came out and apologised for what they'd done wrong and addressed this in a tweet and on a blog post. Now, in the tweet that they first put out, they acknowledged that the recent update on January 3rd actually nerfed fun, in their words, which it really did, to be honest. And speaking from experience and the rest of the community, that's what felt like what Treyarch were trying to do, was just nerf the fun that people were having on the game. But what they done was, in this patch, they extended the round change time on directed mode once you stayed on the same round for 5 rounds in a row up to 35 seconds, so it's making the zombie camel grind a lot longer and people were just getting bored of playing. They took away the shock charge speedrun step, which was a simple part of the game and it wasn't harming anyone, it was actually benefiting people. It's a PvE mode, so what is the point in taking out a simple speedrun skip like this? And they nerfed the Shadow Rift big game augment, which was one-shotting elite zombies, but it was doing that from the start of the game, so I'm not sure why they done it now. And they didn't really give any reason behind any of these patches, which Treyarch need to start doing in the future, and they start need to be more honest with the community and why they're doing these patches, to see where they're coming from and see if we actually agree with them or don't agree with them, and then can give our feedback on that. But also in the tweet it briefly runs through what they changed to the game, with Shadow Rift receiving 4 new buffs, some annoying bugs that are being fixed, and updates that are coming to Deadlight Green Light and the limited time mode. Of course the game will never be perfect and there will always be things that need to be changed going forward. It just happens in the life cycle of a game. But Treyarch being honest and providing feedback to the community and communicating with us freely and openly is a real bonus to us, and it's a good sign at the moment where Treyarch are going, because a few weeks ago leading up to this, the community wasn't happy with how Treyarch were treating the game, especially with the Warzone community and the multiplayer community. The zombies was kind of okay, but with the recent patch that came, people weren't happy. So it's good to see Treyarch are prioritising the community's fun and just how they feel about the game over what they think is best, because at the end of the day the community are the one playing the game, so the community knows best overall for what they want to play, because Treyarch are trying to give us what they think is going to be right, but sometimes it doesn't always go right. So it's trying to find that nice balance in between what the community wants, what Treyarch wants, and meeting in the middle and just going forward from the game like that. On the Call of Duty website, on the patch notes for January 9th, if you scroll down to the zombie section, there is actually a lengthy paragraph apology from Treyarch for the zombies community, and it reads as, "Hey everyone, let's talk about these changes from January 3rd. The team is always focused on making zombies fun and rewarding. It's why we make video games, but we don't always nail the first time. It's good seeing Treyarch take accountability for their mistakes, and at the end of the day, the developers and the people running zombies and Call of Duty are human, so everyone is prone to mistakes, so it's good that they're addressing these and fixing these going forward." Continuing on with the post, "Some fixes for bugs or exploits can become lower priority as more important issues come up, and some need to be held for an update further down the line. Last Friday's changes to big game for Shadow Rift, the shock charge speedrun step for Terminus, and directed mode spawn delays after 5 loop rounds are prime examples of this." And this is really where the community was not happy with the recent update, but it's good to see that they're addressing these and that they're going to be changing these going forward, and that it's important to take into consideration that smaller, like slight bugs in the game aren't actually always the main thing that need to be fixed. They're not all going to get fixed at once, so it's important that they fix the bigger game, the bigger picture problems first going forward. Going back to the blog post, "We know it's not fun to see a fix multiple weeks later for something that wasn't bothering you in the first place, so we're reverting the directed mode changes, giving Shadow Rift 4 new buffs." Now this is the first time I think I've ever seen anything like go from being patched for being nerfed for being too good to going to be reverted and receiving 4 buffs. So Shadow Rift, we've won this predicament. So Shadow Rift got nerfed and now it's getting buffed, so it's going to be even better than it was before, so we have to take a big W from that. It's a big win for the community and the zombies community. Then the first 2 are live now, with the speedrun fix needing some extra testing before it goes live, which is, it's a bit weird. Why can't they just get them all done now? Why can't they just revert it to how it was before? But we'll have to see how it is now going forward. And then finally, wrapping up the apology, says, "Thanks to everyone for the reports of visual effects not showing up properly in Citadel de Morts and crashes that can happen when you're using the sword while Ether Shroud is active with Void Sheet Augment. The team produced fixes for these bugs shortly after they popped up, and now they're live today. So they're constantly changing stuff now. With that game crashing, maybe it will happen on the higher rounds. I'm not too sure whether it would happen on the lower rounds, but I know people were complaining about it up into the higher rounds over the hundreds, but it was occurring with the lower rounds maybe after the update in January 3rd. I'm not too sure, but at least they've changed that now, and it's going to be fixed for us going forward. It's a really good thing to see Treyarch prioritising the community's enjoyment of the game. And going forward from this, I hope that they actually give us reasoning to what the changes are and the updates and the patch notes are. So it gives us some transparency as to why they're making these changes. Hopefully that will happen now. And then the only reason why I think they actually extended the round change time on directed mode to 35 seconds in the first place is obviously to make the camera grind longer, which will then translate to more people playing the game for longer over a period of time. So the round change time will be longer because people will still play directed mode to get the camos gold. But it actually didn't work because I think people were not happy with, obviously weren't happy with this change, as it made the game boring, and then people just weren't playing at all. So Treyarch were actually losing playtime statistically, then gaining playtime statistically from this change. So they're gonna have to revert it back, as it's the only way that they can keep their playtime up in zombies. And what the big game augment actually is for Shadow Rift is, when this activated, I had a slight chance of activating on elite enemies and insta-killing them as it dropped them from the sky. And this has been like this from the start of the game, so I'm not too sure why Treyarch now decided months into the game that they're going to fix it and change it to how it used to be. Because it wasn't initially supposed to be able to do that, but it was actually a bug that was allowing the elite zombies to be insta-killed. But it's PvE mode, it's not affecting anyone negatively, it's just making it easier for people to play by using that Shadow Rift augment on it. But they reverted this nerf and went in the opposite way and actually gave us 4 buffs to the Shadow Rift ammo mod, so it's going to be even more overpowered than it was before. So it's going to go back to insta-killing these elite zombies, and it's going to be even stronger just on your regular use of the ammo mods. They addressed some issues for Citadel de Morts, where they addressed an issue where they're using the Void Sheet augment for Ether Shroud with one of the elemental swords would cause the match to crash. They addressed an issue where many visual effects would stop playing. Then they fixed directed mode, where they addressed an issue where guidance would be incorrect if a player disconnected with a stamp. Addressed an issue where guidance would be incorrect each time a new stamp spawned. And addressed an issue where picking up the Soleus after a stamp was spawned in could prevent quest progression. Sorry, that was a mouthful. Which is a good sign. It's going to be making the direct mode easier for Citadel de Morts, as it was a bit confusing. Not all the steps were clear on Citadel de Morts. Now for the Raven Sword, they do need to fix out how to actually upgrade that, because it's still not clear how to do that for people who don't know or watch the videos or have the website linked. Quick access, the website had quick access to solve the puzzle for them straight away, so they need to fix that as well going forward. So for directed mode, they removed the extended time between rounds and the delay between spawning zombies after 5 loop rounds at the round cap, which is going to be bringing the zombie camo grind back on. So people, hop in, get your camos done before you make a stupid change again. But hopefully they don't do that. So get in, get your camos. I am nowhere near finishing Nebula on zombies. I'm close to Dark Matter multiplayer, but I need to get on the Nebula grind. But I'm not the biggest fan of doing that in directed mode, as I'd rather the challenge of just playing normal zombies. And now for Shadow Rift, the buffs include activation rates. So normal enemy activation rate is increased from 15% to 20%. Special activation rate is increased from 5% to 7%. And an elite enemy activation rate with the big game augment equipped is increased from 5 to 7%. And they actually decreased the cooldown timer by 25%, so it's going to be activating a lot faster. So it's going to be a good sign, and it's going to be a really overpowered augment now going forward. And then with the big game augment for Shadow Rift, it was never intended to one-shot elites, but we know it worked like that for months, and we heard you about this latest change, so we're taking too much away from Shadow Rift overall. So we've added 4 buffs to make Shadow Rift activate more frequently, including a 25% cooldown reduction to keep it powerful and fun to use. One of the more lackluster parts of the Squid Game update was the limited time mode Deadlight Greenlight. Now it's been added to Liberty Falls, as we knew that was coming, but I felt like it wasn't lasting too long. It was 10 rounds, there wasn't much thought put into it, but they've actually increased the round cap to 20 before the exfil, so you're going to have more time in it to have fun, play this Deadlight Greenlight game out, because round 10 you were just in, you're only in the game for like 10 minutes and then you were gone. And they say on the website, with the launch of Deadlight Greenlight, we wanted to ease players into the LTM with a single map and a 10 round cap before the exfil to make sure the majority of players had a chance to be successful without feeling they needed gobblegums to survive. Basically a bite-sized experience that's not too punishing, as it looks like it was too easy and over too soon for a lot of you. Starting today, we've had the Liberty Falls to the map selection and extended a round cap to 20. After that, apparently they're going to be extending it in week 3 to see how far the community want to challenge themselves. And tying all the blog posts together, finishing it up, there's some stability fixes, as sometimes bugs appeared fixed in testing but turn out to still be an issue in the live game after the patch goes out. This sucks for everyone involved, and it can lead to inaccurate patch notes, which we never want, as the vermin double attack bug is one of those, and like the terminus speedrun fix, the proper solution for it unfortunately can't be implemented as quickly as some of the other listed items above. And we're going to have to look for both of these fixes when Season 2 is launched on January 28th, so that is Treyarch dropping the release date for Season 2, which I did not know was in this post, so there you go, get ready for January 28th as Season 2 is going to be coming then. A lot more content, a lot more stuff to be playing for, so let's get ready for that, and hopefully the game is going to be fixed by then. I'm not too sure why they can't implement all the bug changes at once, as they know they're an issue in the game. Why do we have to wait for January 28th? Maybe they're getting the whole Season 2 ready, so that's the main priority for them, but we'll have to see how that goes. It's great to see Treyarch being honest and acknowledging the errors that they're making and fixing them. So as a community, we actually have to be grateful for that for once, and say thank you to Treyarch for doing that, and hopefully they can keep this good stuff up, and going forward in the future that it's going to be plain sailing from here. Definitely won't be, but hopefully there will be more of these scenarios where Treyarch actually take accountability for their mistakes. So that's going to be all for this video. Make sure you drop a like and a comment. Let's try to get the video to 5 likes. And feel free to subscribe if you're new here. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers by the end of January. And thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.